Hello my friends. So last video I talked about how I finessed my way into the Big Four, and so now I thought I would drop some tips on how you can do the same. If I can do it, you can do it. It's not that hard, I promise. So unless your job is super technical, be it IB or IT, where you actually can demonstrate how much knowledge you have and whether you're a good fit, in every other role, almost every other job, what you know is far less important than who you know. And this is mostly because there are hundreds of candidates applying for the same role, and the number of roles are literally limited. And so, because of that, two scraps of paper will honestly not get you a job, because unless you're extremely exceptional, and there are some of these cases, an HR rep probably won't even look at your resume and cover letter unless they know you. How much can two scraps of paper really express who you are? How much of your personality can two scraps of paper actually express if you really think about it? And so you need to network. Network is key when it comes to landing roles in, say, the Big Four, say in consulting, or almost any other role that isn't super technical. And so with that, here are 5 tips that can help you land that big job that you're looking for. So the thing is, the more people you know, the higher your reach. And at the end of the day, someone you know will know someone else who's hiring. And if that person refers you, the person hiring will be more inclined to basically give you an interview, if not literally the job, compared to someone who's literally just emailing them cold and dropping their resumes and cover letter. Your network is your strength at the end of the day, and anything you have to do, you should do. So if that means more networking events, just go to them. Coffee chats, connecting with alumni, connecting with people who currently work in the organization. You need to do all of this in order to ensure that your resume is noticed and not just trashed in the primary screening. Because once you get that interview, that's when you can truly show your personality and your potential and why they should hire you, compared to just writing it down on a piece of paper and hoping that you somehow scrape through the screening process. So the second tip is something that has personally helped me a lot, and that is make sure the conversations are memorable. So initially, like I said in the last video, I generally disliked going to all these networking events because they felt so fake and surface level, like you're just going there just to get a job. But what I find is that, especially when you try to connect with reps and people in these companies at a more personal level, that's when you truly make a connection that's worthwhile and meaningful and could potentially help you going forward. And that's mostly because these reps meet so many people, especially during recruitment season, that it's really easy to forget that one person who just said, "Hi, what do you do? What's your job? Okay, goodbye, next person." Compared to that, if you strike up a conversation about something that is literally not work, that is something that they will enjoy talking about. Because think about it, during busy season, these reps, these professionals, they literally work 60, 70, 80 hours a week. And the last thing they want is, after hard days of work, just to come back or just to come to a networking event and have people asking them specifically what they do. And that's really tiring. And, people don't like that conversation. They need a change of pace. And so literally bring up anything that you think you have common with the rep. Ask them if they play games, sports, whether they have pets, things like that. And that will genuinely help you create a connection that you can further going forward. So tip 3 is follow-up emails. You must ensure that you send follow-up emails as soon as the event's over. Tips on sending follow-up emails: you want to make it sweet, short, and quick. Just talk about something that you talked about if it was especially interesting. Otherwise, keep it simple and just say thank you and looking forward to meet you in the next event, and just move on. Tip 4 has to do with meeting reps multiple times. So for example, if you have met a rep once and you email them and ask for a coffee chat, even if they don't reply to you, it's nothing personal, nothing to be offended about. They're just busy people. Make sure you make the active effort of meeting them if you see them at another event. And chances are, because most reps like going to these events and meeting students, they're usually repeat attendees in these events. And so make sure you actively go up to them and go like, "Oh, okay, it was nice meeting you the last time. At what event?" Mention what event you met them and just continue the conversation. You don't have to make it long. Make it sweet, short. Ask them how they were, how's work, anything different that they tried recently, If you talked about anything memorable, bring that up. Say, for example, if it's a certain sport that you both watch, just talk about updates in that specific sport. And then, after a while, just say, oh, okay, it was great meeting you. I know there are other reps here. I would like to meet all of them. Would you be open to a coffee chat in the next few weeks or in the next few days? And usually they're very nice and they're very understanding, because of course you want to meet the other events, and so they would most likely say yes to it, especially because you're meeting them for a second time and they are, and they know you a little better. And make sure you send a follow-up email saying, oh, okay, it was great meeting you again. When would you like to have the coffee chat as we talked about? And that's it. That's tip 4. So the last tip is something that is super underrated and most people don't even actually notice it. But I like to treat networking events as an event where you need to maximize your potential returns. You must get the most ROI on your time spent in these events. And so what I like to do, is divide and conquer. Whenever I go into an event, I usually look at the people or the reps who are the least busiest. And this is usually people who aren't HR reps and people who, are just staff accountants, first-year staff accountants. And so most students think that they are less important and it's more important to talk to the managers or, the HR reps because they are the people who hire you. But that is not true. So the way this works, industry secret, because your boy's been a rep, I shouldn't be saying this, but your boy's been a rep couple of times. But what happens is that after the event ends, after the event ends, the HR reps actually ask every single other rep in the event as to who they think stood out in the entire meeting, the entire event, and who they should potentially consider to give an interview. And this is something that most people don't realize, but talking to people who are the least busiest instead of literally hounding that one professional just standing in the middle of the room will certainly maximize your chances, because not only will you get to know them better, but you can make a stronger impact because of the longer conversation that you can have. And that is something that I see a lot of students missing, and it should be something that you should consider because it's super, super underrated. Because I promise you, even if you talk to only one rep, make sure you talk to the one that is the least busiest, and make sure you leave a lasting impact like you would in any other situation. And rest assured, thank me later when you get an interview. So hopefully these tips gave you a little more clarity on how to strategize when going to these events and maximizing your reach and your network. But I also understand that resumes are an important aspect of getting a job, because again, you need to perfect your resume, but also need to do networking on top of that to maximize your chances. So if you guys want, you can send me your resumes at the email address below, and I will actually check them out for you and give you some important feedback. I'll look at it, and maybe down the line, I can also do a service where I basically do interview preps, give you mock interviews, give you more tips and tricks, and that are more personalized. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know and we can sort something out. With that, I hope you liked this little 2 videos in a row type of situation. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you like smaller videos better, or if it would have been better if I joined them together. But with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have fun and good luck.